สวัสดีครับทุกคนนะครับวันนี้เราอยู่กับ University of Lethbridge นะครับผมกันนะครับจากกบันกันหรือ KPG นะครับ University of Lethbridge นะครับเป็นมหาวิทยาลัยในแคนาดานะครับอยู่ในรัฐอัลเบอร์ตานะครับซึ่งมีอยู่2แคมปัสนะครับแคมปัสที่1อยู่ใน Calgary นะครับก็เป็นเมืองที่หลายๆคนอาจจะคุ้นชื่อกันถ้ากำลังมองหาตัวเลือกนอกจากแวนคูเวอร์และโตรอนโตนะครับ เพราะว่าแคลการีนั้นก็เป็นเมืองที่มีขนาดที่ใหญ่เป็นลำดับที่ประมาณ5ของแคนาดาในปัจจุบันนะครับแล้วก็มีค่าครองชีพที่อาจจะประหยัดกว่าเมืองใหญ่ๆอย่างในแวนคูเวอร์กับโตรอนโตได้ในระดับหนึ่งนะครับแล้วก็อีกแคมปัสหนึ่งนะครับอยู่ที่ Lethbridge นะครับอยู่ทางตอนใต้ของแคลการีนะครับซึ่งขับรถประมาณ2ชั่วโมงครึ่งถึง3ชั่วโมงก็ถึงที่ Lethbridge ได้นะครับก็เป็นมหาวิทยาลัยที่มี facility มีแคมปัสเหมือนกันไปเรียนในมหาวิทยาลัย ในแคนาดาหรือประเทศอื่นๆเลยนะครับที่มี facility มีบริการต่างๆนะครับก็อาจจะเหมาะกับน้องๆที่อยากไปเรียนต่อปอตรีหรือผู้ใหญ่ที่อาจจะวัยทำงานที่อาจจะอยากไปเรียนต่อในบรรยากาศที่มันเป็นมหาลัยแล้วก็อยู่ในเมืองที่อาจจะไม่ได้วุ่นวายหรือคนเยอะมากนะครับก็อาจจะตอบโจทย์ได้นะครับซึ่ง U of Lethbridge เนี่ยเปิดสอนหลักสูตรตั้งแต่ระดับ undergrad รวมถึง certificate diploma bachelor degree คือปอตรีนะครับ ซึ่งปอตรีเนี่ยก็เรียนเป็นปอตรีแบบใบที่2ได้หมายความว่าเราเอาหน่วยกิตของปอตรีใบแรกเนี่ย transfer มาเรียนต่อเป็นปอตรีอีกใบหนึ่งนะครับหรือนะครับเราจะไปเรียนต่อเป็นพวก post diploma นะก็ได้นะครับเป็นพวกประกาศนียบัตรสำหรับคนที่จบปอตรีแล้วแบบเฉพาะทางนะครับแล้วก็อีกอันหนึงนะครับที่อาจจะน่าสนใจสำหรับคนที่จะมีผู้ติดตามนะก็คือ master degree นะครับก็คือการเรียนปอโทนะครับเพราะว่าปัจจุบันนี้นะครับหรือเร็วๆนี้นะครับที่จะมีการเปลี่ยนแปลงเกิดขึ้นเนี่ยสำหรับผู้ติดตามที่เป็น spouse หรือ common law เนี่ยจะติดตามไปได้โดยเฉพาะถ้าผู้เรียนหลักเรียนเป็น master degree คือปอโทนะครับซึ่ง U of Lethbridge ก็จะมีปอโทเปิดสอนนะครับแต่เงื่อนไขในการเข้าเรียนปอโทเนี่ยเดี๋ยวเราก็ต้องมาดูเงื่อนไขกันแล้วเดี๋ยวคุณเจสันนะครับที่เป็นตัวแทนของ U of Lethbridge นะครับจะพรีเซนต์แล้วก็นำเสนอข้อมูลกับ U of Lethbridge ให้ฟังรวมถึงรายละเอียดเงื่อนไขการเข้าเรียนในหลักสูตรต่างๆด้วยนะครับก็เดี๋ยวผมขออนุญาตเริ่มต้น presentation โดยให้คุณเจสันเขาแนะนำวิทยาลัยมหาวิทยาลัยนะครับโอเค Jason let's get started I will here maybe you could help to start introduce yourself briefly so we know who you are and then we get started with the presentation.
Okay, thanks, Kampong. My name is Jason Ng. I am from the University of Lethbridge. I'm the International Recruitment Officer for Southeast Asia, West Africa, Hong Kong. Thanks very much for taking the time on your Saturday morning to join this webinar just to learn a little bit about the university, as well as what we have to offer, and as well as learning. And I'm happy to answer questions also about your different options within Canada. So the University of Lethbridge is a public research university. So we are government supported, and we have a DLI, as you might have heard of those before. So everything that you take with the university is all government backed, and so there's no, just to let you know about our that we are a public research, and I'm not, I'm here to just provide information to you. I'm not on commission or anything like that. I'm just here as a recruitment officer to kind of explain the different programs that you might have interest in if you are looking to study in Canada. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a presentation. It won't be too long. So I want to leave some room for questions, because I know there's a lot of questions about especially the recent changes with legislation, how that affects you, what your options can be for the coming year or even up to next year. So let me just get started, and then if you want to put in your questions in the chat, that's great also. I'm sure Kampong can moderate that, and then you can also ask questions at the end of once I'm done with the talking. Okay, let me just get started here. Here we go. Okay.
ก็สำหรับใครที่อาจจะมีคำถามนะครับถ้าอยู่ในซูมนี้ก็พิมพ์ไว้ในแชทได้นะครับเดี๋ยวตอนท้ายเรามาตอบคำถามกันนะครับ
Oh, sorry, is my screen sharing properly? Is it
It's not full screen yet.
Okay, it's just like a second here. Something's not working properly. Sorry about that.
No problem. Take
Very
your time.
weird. Yeah, sorry about that. It was working just 1 second and we just checked it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just try that again. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. This should work this time. Okay.
We still do not. You might need to click that. Yeah.
Is that
perfect.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. All right, everyone.
No
Okay,
problem.
so again, I'm from the University of Lethbridge. Just a cover picture of our university there with a student. Another nice picture in the fall of our main campus. The University of Lethbridge, you'll notice, has a sun in their crest because we do have a lot of sunshine in Alberta, and that's what's something we incorporate in a lot of our material. Our campus here, this is the main campus in Lethbridge. Now, we do have two campuses. The main campus is your typical university campus. It has all your facilities, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But you'll see wide open spaces. You can see wide open sky. It's going to be quite different from if you're living in Bangkok. It's totally different, actually. But that's a good thing. If you want to have something a little bit different, you want to have space. You can see lots of walking trails around. This was taken in the fall. It does get quite green in the summertime also. This long building that you can see here, that's the University Hall. That was the first building built in 1967. And that's when the university was started. You may ask, where is Lethbridge? Where is Calgary? Calgary, you may know already because it is a major center in Western Canada. Calgary is the largest city in the province, 1.6 million people. Lethbridge is about 2 hours, 15 minutes south of Calgary, and it has a population of about 101,000. Now, the interesting thing about the city is that it has both a college and a university. So that's quite rare for a city of its size. So in a lot of ways, it's like a college town. So it is a little bit smaller, but there are benefits and there's some drawbacks to both, whether you live in a big city or a small city, as you probably already know, and we'll go over that a little bit. If you're studying in Lethbridge, it's only about an hour and 15 minutes from the US border, which is in Montana below us. The region is known for its agriculture. So Southern Alberta's main industry is agriculture. There's other things like tourism, oil and gas, environment, water, things like that are all very important industries in Southern Alberta. There's lots of walking trails and parks. What you would expect or what you would see in Canada is what you will find in Lethbridge, right? Like all the outdoor activities that are usually promoted or what you think about in Canada. Just something I like to talk about because not everyone have not been to Canada. The temperatures in Alberta, in southern Alberta, is 25 to -10 from September to November. So it does get cold. Of course, it's Canada. It's different from Thailand. Winter average temperatures 5 to -20. So right now it's end of February. Today's high was about 9 degrees. So not too bad, right? So it really depends. We did have -30 degree days about a month ago. So it does happen. But again, it's the same as, well, Thailand has +35 degree days. So it is a difference, but you do adapt. We have people from all over the world that do adapt to it. This is a picture of our downtown in Lethbridge. It's not a huge downtown, but it has your, restaurants, bars, shopping centers. There's a tattoo parlor if you want to grab a tattoo. Sorry, that's just a joke if you're interested, but you can get a tattoo if you want in Lethbridge. So it's a nice little area for, hanging out, getting a coffee, that sort of thing. The other thing that's very well known and something for students to access is the mountains, right? So the very well-known area is Banff and Lake Louise. So it's only about an hour and a half from Calgary and about 2 hours from Lethbridge that you can go to the Rocky Mountains. I think if you Google it, you'll find lots and lots of information about those about the mountains, and millions of people come every year to see these mountains. You can ask Kampong; he's been there before, so it's quite a beautiful sight. And you can, because it's so near, you can do it on a weekend with some friends, kind of thing. Now back to the university. The university is primarily an undergraduate university. Now we do have graduate studies, but we're best known for our undergraduate programs. And I'm sorry, this says number 6, 2022. That should say 2024. Sorry, this was a mistake. This was an editing mistake. So Maclean's magazine, if you're not familiar, ranks all the Canadian universities every year. So in October, they come out with the new rankings. In last October, we came in number 6. Usually we're in the top 5 all the time. So that tells you about the quality of our undergraduate programs. Now, what we offer are smaller class sizes. Our university has about 8,500 students. So not a huge university, but that's a good thing in a lot of ways because you have more attention to the students, that we provide more services to the students, and you have the ability to talk to your professor a lot more than you would be able to in larger university. Now, I attended the University of Lethbridge and the University of Calgary. The University of Calgary has about 35,000 people. First year courses in your lectures, you have 200, 300 people. So that tells you you're not going to have that opportunity, right? Whereas in the University of Lethbridge, your first year classes, you're going to have maybe 80, 90 people. And then it goes down as you progress in your university classes. So we have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio and 150 plus undergraduate programs. What we also offer is co-op opportunities. So co-op, as you know, you take a work term as part of your program. And many students do this, domestic as well as international. It gives them an edge when they graduate, so they have work experience on their resume once they complete their program. And as you can see, we have a very good graduate employment rate, 94.5%. If you're doing a business program, it goes up to like 97%. So the nice thing is, a lot of students, what they'll do, a smart thing to do is they'll study in Lethbridge. It's a smaller town. Once they graduate, they move to a bigger city, and that's where they'll find the more jobs available. But they've also had the opportunity to save some money because they studied in a smaller center. Just a picture of the Lethbridge and Calgary campus. Now, the Lethbridge campus, this is a picture of the library outside. All programs and full campus facilities are there. In the Calgary campus, we're located in the Bow Valley College building. Now, the Bow Valley College building, this is more directed for mature students, adult learners. So most of the students there have already gone through university or college. They are coming to Canada to study, to look at getting their postgraduate work permit, to maybe possibly immigrate to Canada afterwards. So the campus in Calgary is located downtown, very easy access for trains, buses, that sort of thing. But it doesn't have the full facilities like a swimming pool or dormitories because it is an adult education building. However, there are, again, for a lot of students that go there, they've already had the full campus experience. They don't need it as much. Mm-hmm. We do have selected majors in the Calgary campus. It's mostly business programs that are delivered there. We will talk about a little bit more about that also. There are some health programs also available there. But if you're interested, you're an adult learner, that might be something that you want to look at in the Calgary campus, and you might have friends or family that are living there already. So the programs that we offer, as I mentioned, we have 150 plus undergraduate programs. So Bachelor of Arts, Science, Fine Arts, Management, Education, Nursing, Health Sciences. I would say the Bachelor of Management business programs are the most popular programs for students, international students. Just because there's a very good employment rate, as well as business skills are adaptable across across many different industries, right? So that's something that a lot of students are interested in. However, again, these are all available as undergraduate programs. Now we do have master's programs too. We can talk a little bit about that. I'm primarily an undergraduate recruiter, but I can share some master's programs. The Masters of Management you may have looked at. Masters of Science and Management is a very popular program also at the master's level. You can take that in Calgary or Lethbridge. A lot of the master's programs, though, outside of the management can only be taken in Lethbridge. Okay, so if you were interested in doing a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, a Master's of Science in Chemistry, you have to do it in Lethbridge. So most graduate programs are going to be delivered out of Lethbridge. Just a little bit of information there. Bit about our business school, just because it is quite popular. It is founded in 1975. It is part of the AACSB, which is the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, which is a worldwide association for business schools and business programs. You need to have a very excellent curriculum, facilities, faculty to remain as part of the AACSB. The School of Business is a faculty at the university. I've been getting a lot of questions about, well, is it this private-public partnership? No. This is a faculty. This is a part of the university. It's not a private, private school that's attached to the university. It's basically the business faculty. It's just the name is because Bob Dylan is a entrepreneur that gave us a big donation, and so we named the school after him. Also wanted to quickly go over the Faculty of Arts and Science. So it is the largest faculty. It has 40 different disciplines. Now, what's great about it is what the picture you're seeing is called the Science Commons. If you're a science student or very interested in studying science, this is the most advanced science facility in Canada, which is really interesting because it's situated in a smaller city in Alberta, right? Something you wouldn't expect. This was completed in 2019 September, and of course, what happened? COVID. It's barely been used. It's only a couple of years old. It's technically 5 years old, but really only a couple of years old being used because it was closed down during the COVID time. It has state-of-the-art labs. It has very, very interesting technology in the building, as well as glass walls that you can write on for problem solving. It's very interesting. If you ever have a chance, take a look at the Science Commons. We do have different degree programs: the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts in Science, and the Bachelor of Science housed within the faculty. Just a little bit more about this Science Commons. It was $280 million science building created 5 years ago. So very interesting building to look at. Wanted to quickly go over the undergraduate admissions. So for undergraduate admissions, you can be a high school student applying directly out of high school, of course. You can be a transfer applicant. So we get, if you're studying in a college or university, you're like, well, maybe I want to take some of my courses, transfer them to a university. We can accept your transfer credits. We do have to do an assessment, of course. You can also be a post-diploma applicant. Now, this is something that's it's a little bit, it's specific for college graduates, so not university. So if you finished a college program in Thailand, for example, and you did computer science, and you're like, well, I want to continue it. You have the opportunity to use that diploma, get the credits for it, and only study 2 more years to get your bachelor's. So it's a 2+2 program. Second degree applicants, this is something that's very popular in a lot of my countries that I represent. The second degree applicants is those who have studied and completed a degree already. So they're completed a degree, what's the next step? I'm looking to study overseas. I'm looking to study in Canada. What's my options? Your options are, yes, you could look at doing a master's, but you could also look at doing a second degree. And for a lot of students, second degree is often the better choice. So let's say you took, again, let's use computer science. You took computer science degree, and now you want to come to Canada. You can't take computer science again, but you can study management, for example. Management can be a 2-year program. you complete it, and then you would have a not a special degree. This is a regular degree. It's just we gave you credit for the first 2 semesters, first 2 years, sorry. So this is something that's a very popular and it's a good pathway for a lot of students. And then English for academic purposes, if you need to increase your English skills, we do have EAP to study and continue on if you want to continue to an undergraduate degree program. So those are the pathway, the different ways to get in. Sorry, here we go. Now, for high school applicants, if you're a high school student, your certificate of secondary education, Matayam 6, with a minimum average of 2 out of 4, is what we require for high school students. And we talked about the different post-secondary admission routes. Now, for graduate studies, this is something, if you're looking at and you got a degree, and you're thinking, well, I want to go to graduate studies. Here's the minimum academic requirement. Bachelor's degree with a minimum average of 3 out of 4, so 3.0 GPA. If you don't have that, that's it. You can't apply. Like, you're just not eligible. So you need to self-determine if you had that average in your bachelor's degree. If you did, that's great. That's the first step. There's a lot more steps after that. But for this, that's the minimum academic requirement. Okay. For the English language proficiency, right now we're asking academics if you're using IELTS, academic IELTS 6.0, nothing under 6 in each band. Pearson's 54, TOEFL, IBT 80, Duolingo 105. If you're doing graduate studies, you need to have academic IELTS 6.5 and Duolingo 115. So that's the current academic requirements. For next year, it is, I believe, they're increasing it. So we'll see when that passes through. If it does pass through, it's going to go to 115, I believe, for the Duolingo. If you're applying for a health program like nursing or health sciences, there's also a spoken English language proficiency requirement and a score of at least 7.5 on academic IELTS is going to be required. So that's something that you will need to show when you are applying for these programs. Just a little bit more about the main campus. There are, as I said, it's got a full campus facilities, including varsity sports, basketball, hockey, rugby. If you are an athlete, that's something you might want to look into. Of course, we have the fitness center, climbing center, sports stadium. So just some pictures of our main campus facilities. So here's the thing: you don't have to be outside in the wintertime. That's the nice thing. With the university in the main campus, it's all connected. So you are able to get around without having to walk outside in the -20 when those days happen. Very nice pool that we have too, if you like swimming. Indoor running track if you're a runner also. We do have dormitories and apartments and townhouses on the main campus in Lethbridge. We don't have housing in Calgary. So in Calgary, you would have to find your own housing. This guy's got a dormitory here, this picture here. He's got, it's clean. It's nice. He's got a nice view. You probably can't see it, but it's a nice view of the valley. Different configurations. You can have your own room. You can have your own bathroom. You can share a room. Of course, the nicer the room, the more expensive it's going to be. Yeah, just some pictures of some of the housing. The long building called University Halls, where the dormitories are on the main floors. This building here is the apartments, and there's some townhouses behind, next to it also. You can see some of the costs here. These are priced per term. So about $2,000 to $3,300 for University Hall. Of course, apartments are going to be more expensive. Yeah, depending on how nice the apartment is. And you can find this all on our website, of course. Okay, how much will it cost? The big question. So for the upcoming academic year starting in fall, September, if you're taking 10 courses. Now, how we calculate this is if you're doing a 4-year program, you need to do 40 courses. So 40 courses, 10 a year. It doesn't mean you do that. It's up to you, because it's up to you how many courses you decide. 10 courses per year would be $22,369. All right, that's on tuition. If you took obviously 5 courses, it's half of that. But if you're not doing the full 10 courses, it's going to take you longer to complete, obviously. Student fees, $1,672. That includes your health and dental and UPass, sport recreation fees. Books and supplies, around $1,250. Cost of living, around $15,000. Total is going to be around $40,000 per academic year. Again, this is if you include everything, right? And includes taking 10 courses per year. It may be less for you depending on what your circumstances are. You'll find that, of course, international studies is never going to be cheap, but when you compare it to other universities, you'll find it is competitive. We have actually one of the lowest tuition rates in Alberta and even across Canada. So it's something that that's the nice thing about studying at a smaller university. We do have scholarship and awards between $5,000 and $5,000. Now, scholarships in Canada, they're not huge value. If you get $1,000 scholarship, you've done well. My daughter goes to university. She won a scholarship. She has straight A grades. She won $1,000. So it's not a huge amount, but it helps. Always apply for scholarships. Most of the time, they will be GPA driven. So the higher your grades, the better your chances. Other information, it takes about 4 weeks to get a response. So if you apply now, you will find out at the end of March whether you get an admission or not. Application fee is $140 for intakes for undergraduate programs, fall and spring. So right now we are accepting all applications for fall as well as for spring, for the programs that start in spring. And yeah, June 15 is the deadline for most programs in the fall. Sorry, if you're interested in nursing, if you're online listening in nursing, March 1st. So if you're very interested in nursing, you got to apply very soon, like very, very soon. That's the only one that's coming up very quickly. Why choose Lethbridge and why choose Alberta? So as I mentioned, we have a very good undergraduate ranking for our university. We have very good faculty, 2 campuses to choose from, advanced facilities like the Science Commons, co-op opportunities, which is your work term. And this is really important too, as you'll find when you're studying, when you're looking at different provinces and their universities. Alberta has the lowest provincial tax and affordable cost of living. So the tax rate in Canada, in Alberta, GST is 5% on goods and services. So compare that to BC or Ontario, like what is it, 13%, I think, over there. So more than double. So that is why there's so many people interested in coming to Alberta. Our population is lower too, so that affords more immigration opportunities. Ontario, of course, is the largest province. BC has got about 1 million more people. So there are lots of opportunities. That's basically my presentation. And, I know you probably have specific questions for your own circumstances that we can talk about that. Here's the email that you can send to. I'm the one who actually answers this email mostly, 90% of the time. But if not, you can always ask Kampong, KPG, and they can also contact me if you have a specific question on a program. So I'm going to just end it there because that's kind of quick overview of the university and and what we have to offer. So let's talk about what you would like to know about studying in Canada.
Thank you, Jason. I think you have covered all the information, and some of them I mentioned during I gave introduction and overview of the university in Thai already, and hopefully they are able to understand. If not, perhaps it's time to ask questions. But before we let them ask questions, I'll probably end the recording so that they are more comfortable. But I'm not sure if you have anything else to say for the recording or anything you want to mention.
Depending again on your, it really depends on your academic background, right? Which program is right for you. So, I mean, this is a good chance, don't be shy. If you're, please, of course, write it in the chat box. If you have questions, I don't mind helping you. If I say, if you're looking for a program that we don't offer, I'll tell you what program where you can take that. If you look at culinary arts, like I really want to become a chef, you can't come to the university. We can't teach you that. I'll say, go to SAIT. Go to NATE. those are the places to go. So if you have questions, I don't mind answering, even if it's not for the university. But of course, I'm here to tell you about our programs at the graduate and undergraduate level.
Thank you. I'll probably end the recording and maybe we can do Q&A.